Welcome everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is our Battlestar Galactica Season 2. We'll be playing the Pegasus expansion. And no, your eyes aren't playing tricks with you. I have the Spanish version of the main board game, and I have the Italian version of Pegasus. I think in Season 1 I was playing a borrowed copy of Battlestar Galactica that was English, but it's okay. We've got the rule books here on the laptop in English, so we can make do. So let's get into gameplay setup for Season 2 here. I will unbox them, start the setup, and we'll follow the expansion Pegasus rules. I'm not going to include the rules for Daybreak or Exodus, so we'll just stick with these. And also I've got the recently, in my recent miniature video, I've painted up not only the Pegasus base stars, you can see these have been custom painted, but also the Vipers, the Raptors, all of the ships here. So you'll be featuring these. If you want to check out my painting video, links below so you can check that out. So let's get into it. I'll start out with unboxing this one. We'll set up for gameplay. We'll put the rule book aside here. Discard this. We got our character cards, main board, and let's make some space for the main board. So main board, we've got Battlestar Galactica as the normal setup. We also have Colonial 1, and we have Cylon locations. And with Pegasus, we'll add the additional board for Pegasus. We'll add the additional board for Battlestar Pegasus. That maybe we'll put on this side, so we can put Battlestar Pegasus on this side. We've got our Pegasus rulebook as well. And we'll also be playing the new Caprica destination. So we'll be doing Pegasus with new Caprica destination. So I believe I'll just put these both here. New Caprica doesn't come in till later, so we'll just leave it here ready on the board. And then I think I'll put my character cards along this side, so we have some real estate orientation. So let's see how much space we need. So about that much. So let's move this over just a bit more. Okay, great. All right, so we'll be going through the characters next, but let's start out with the main setup here. So first of all, we're going to get the Pegasus board game is set up. New Caprica board game is set up. We're going to use the objective card from New Caprica. So let's take a look at that. So here's our expansion deck cards. Here's our expansion deck, our expansion character cards that we'll pick through. So I'll get those out, and then I can move this board out of the way. We also get treachery cards with Pegasus. So you can see here that we've got our standard cards. We add to those some treachery cards. So first off, we're going to have our destination card of New Caprica. So we've got that set up. We're going to put the Cylon Overlay on top of, and this is the Cylon Overlay. We're going to put this over the main board. So Pegasus comes with an enhanced Cylon Overlay. So maybe I'll just move these game tops here. So we've got our Cylon location, but now we've got a slightly different Cylon location here. So we're going to put this over. We're going to change it from Spanish to Italian, but also take those new rules that come with that. We'll pop those off the cards later. Next, we're going to have the new skill cards and mix those in with the skill cards. So let's grab our skill cards and separate them out. So we've got skill cards the standard skill cards that come with the main board game. And we'll separate these out by color. So you got the blue, gold, green, and there's some more in here. Yeah, guys, so I've been watching some of you out there playing this live on the online player game. And obviously, listen, I know that this is a multiplayer game. I know it's best played as multiplayer. But for me, it's a great way to walk through the new component, get you guys up to speed on how to set up the board game so you could kind of follow along with my setup. So we've got all of the various cards. I will flip them over afterwards, but I want to shuffle in the new cards from the new deck. So just putting these here: engineering, pilot, tactical, politics. Right. So these are this was the deck, the original deck cards, but now in the expansion deck, so not only do they have these sabotage treachery cards, but they also have a few additional. So we're going to add an additional pile here for treachery. So this is the treachery card. And so treachery card. One of the new mechanics is treachery cards go into the. Let's move this out of the way here. Treachery cards will get folded into the Destiny deck. So Destiny deck gets folded in with treachery. And then we have these additional cards for Pegasus. And you notice that these, just like in Eldritch Horror, the new cards all have got, you zoom in on this, they've got a little tiny Pegasus here for the Pegasus expansion. So that really helps to for cleanup. So I'm just going to put these in, and then I will shuffle the decks. So we're only adding in, and maybe just to make it fun, I will shuffle these up at the top, right? So I'll shuffle the Pegasus cards near the top half of the deck. So I'll get that taken care of in a bit. So maybe I'll just do it like this. And like this. So we've got all of our treachery cards. And I think I have some real estate at the top of the screen that I can slide this up. And I'll put these down below. So treachery will be this pile. Do they give us a little treachery placeholder? Not really. So that's fine. It would be cool if they had a board overlay. I think they do that in the... I mean, they do it in this game. Like, these are board overlays, right? But they do in the, for example, in Fantasy Flight's Game of Thrones, they've got, like, they might have a card that would go over this, so you could have this little card. But it's okay, no worries. Character cards are also here from the expansion deck. So I will kind of go through. Maybe if you guys want to leave a comment, I won't decide who I'm picking right here, but if you want to leave a comment below who you like to see played. We get Cylon leaders as an additional thing here. So you have Leoben. We get Caprica 6. We get Helena Kane. I think Helena Kane's got to be in this game, right? We got Duala. We get Cat. That would be cool to have Cat in there. And I also think it would be cool to have Ellen Tai. I think that's kind of a cool dynamic. And then we've got, from the original box set, the characters, Hilo, Adama. I mean, Adama, you got to have Adama if you got Helena Kane, right? You've got to have them pairing off against each other, right? I think that's kind of cool. And then Saul Tai. If you have Ellen Tai, you got to have Saul Tai, right? So I don't know. Let's see who else we put in for our 6-player deck. We also need some pilots. Do we put in some Cylons? Leave a comment below if you want to, add your opinion to what we should add in, and take a look at that. Okay, so next up is new loyalty cards are used to construct the loyalty deck. So let's find the loyalty cards, and I will pull those first out of the main box. So let's grab some of the main box cards here. We get the loyalty deck. So loyalty. So here's the Cylon cards. And here's the loyalty deck. So here's our original loyalty deck. And here's our expansion card. So I'll put all the original ones up here so we kind of keep track. And here's our new cards. So let's find the additional loyalty cards. And we can work those in. So these are loyalty cards here. We'll work those in. I know that the game has many expansions and many changes of rules over the time, but I'm going to play this as if it was coming out and I just got this, and I'm just going to follow what the expansion rules want for it, so that's fine. Obviously, I'm doing this as a one-player simulated walkthrough. There's not all the strategy and fun of the 6-player game, as I said, but we can still get some good dynamics going here, so we'll go ahead with that. The new Caprica Crisis cards and set them aside. So we've got these new Caprica Crisis cards. Let's get out all the Crisis cards. Let me just check out what the new Caprica Crisis cards look like. So we've got new Caprica Objective cards, Super Crisis cards. We have an Infiltration card. So this can be, if we pick a Cylon, maybe we'll have Caprica 6 and she can have the Infiltration card. I think that would be cool to have a Cylon in it. And then there's agenda cards and loyalty cards. Yep, so let's get the crisis cards ready for... These are new Caprica Crisis cards, I believe. These are the new Caprica Crisis cards. We're going to put these aside. And then we have normal crisis cards. So new Caprica Crisis here, and then normal crisis cards. And I guess we can shuffle some of these in with the normal crisis cards. I will get that set up for us. But let's just break out all the crisis cards. Here's crisis deck from the original game. Here's Admiral cards. Any more additional crisis cards? Okay, so these are all crisis, and this is the new crisis cards. I'll just put them down below. We've got new Caprica there. These two go here. Okay, next up we've got new loyalty cards done. New Caprica cards and objective cards. Agenda cards. Separate the agenda cards into sympathetic and hostile agenda decks. So the agenda cards are these. So we've got this new mechanism here for, this goes here. Got these two kinds of cards. We've got sympathetic and hostile. These are the Cylon cards. This is sympathetic cards and hostile cards, right? So we've got, basically it's 6 and the Centurion represented here. So we'll get those out and ready. Maybe I'll start putting these cards up in this corner, right? So that'll be a good spot for these. So we have the, because we're going to run out of real estate down there. So we have sympathetic cards and hostile cards. Hostile, sympathetic. We've got the, we'll put these here. Just leave these here for the characters. And we'll leave this here for the characters because those will go there. Next we have agenda cards done. The SCAR token, Occupation Forces token, Pegasus damage tokens. So we get a number of new tokens with this. We have our tokens that start the game that we'll pull out. Now, one thing that's fun here is, although we're not using the expansion set, we can use the the ship markers. So instead of using these Cylons, we're going to go ahead and use the actual Cylon, little Cylons for when they're boarding, so we can have those ready at hand. And we also have, this is all the different components that we can use, and we'll just throw these components here for now, and we will add in additional take out this Cobalt card. That will not be used, so we can discard this one here. And we will use our decks. Here we can build this deck. So get that deck built. And what other cards do we have here? We have Admiral cards and President cards. We have the Quorum cards, President and Admiral title cards, and we get an additional Admiral card here because of, I believe, because of Commander Kane, or Commander Kane can be an Admiral if she's in the chain of command, so we'll add that in. And let's get the rule books handy, both Galactica and Pegasus. So if we just review, we've gone through and done the character cards. We've done the Pegasus game board setup. We've done the new Caprica sideboard. Let's move these out of the way. We've got the Cylon Overlay card placed here. So Cylon Overlay is here. Right, so we've set up all the boards. We've got the new skill cards added to the decks, and including these treachery cards. And then we've got crisis cards will be shuffled together, placed over there. So here's the crisis cards. Super crisis cards shuffled together. And we've got the new Caprica cards for when we get to new Caprica phase. They'll all be over there. We get our Quorum cards and our Admiral card and our President card to be combined. And I think we've made it through the deck. The other thing that's cool about Pegasus, in addition to Caprica, is we get a Scar token. Now, I should have gone ahead. I didn't think of this. I should have gone ahead and marked Scar, but maybe what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and get one of these Cylon Raiders, and I'm going to make it the Scar Cylon, right? I think that would be a good way of indicating them. I know they have there's a token here. There's a token in the expansion box. Oh, I haven't popped it off the card yet. Let me start popping these off the card. We've got the Scar token right there. So let's get all these removed and ready. And we can just kind of dump these into here for now, and then I'll sort through them. So they've given us some new Cylon tokens, but we're going to go right to the Cylon figures. So we'll really never get to gameplay these tokens. Hey guys, vote down below. Do you want to use the old Cylon heads, the new Cylon tokens, which are kind of a little bit cooler, or do we just go ahead and use the Cylon figures, which are the best, right? I think these are great. These were chromed up too in my painting video. So, okay, everyone, that's going to do it. I will get the card decks shuffled together. I think the board spacing looks good from the video point of view, so I think we're in a good spot here. Let me know. Maybe I can move over just a little bit this way so we can see the character cards. Let me know in the comments your picks for the characters, see if we match up, and we'll see you on turn 1 in the link over here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.